Hi guys, once again it's time for a Monday Digest. I'm recording this episode in my studio, but the next Monday Digest will be recorded in Belgrade, Serbia. I've never been to Serbia, so it should be fun. Today we have lots of news including Google core algorithm updates, FAQ rich results and a lot more, so get your cup of coffee and let's get started. But first, let's start with news about Ukraine. While the war is ravaging Ukrainian territory, the effects of the war are global. This time we discuss the possible food shortages the war could cause. As you all probably know, Ukraine is one of the largest suppliers of grain, according to UBTA. In 2020, Ukraine ranked 5th in the world market in terms of wheat exports. Ukraine and the Russian Federation together make up a third of all wheat exports in the world. Well, the foreign minister of Ukraine, Dmytro Kuleba, told CNBC at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland that there could be a multi-year food crisis in case Russian blockade of ships carrying vital exports, such as wheat, is not lifted. But what is Russia doing in order to avoid a possible global food crisis? That's right, blackmail. Russian President Vladimir Putin has told that in order to facilitate grain and fertilizer exports, the sanctions on his country should be lifted. I know, it sounds insane, but luckily the US rejected this suggestion. I still think that Ukrainian imminent victory on the battlefield is the only way forward. This time we start the SEO news with a big one. Google has confirmed that it has started a broad core algorithm update. This update, called May 2022 Core Update, will take about 2 weeks to fully roll out. But what are core updates? Well, to put it simply, core updates are usually done to increase the overall relevancy of the search results. In other words, make search results more helpful and more useful for everyone. It has only been 6 months since the last Google Core Update, which rolled out in November 2021. I think it is obvious to anyone working with SEO or heck, anyone in digital marketing space that this is something you need to pay attention to. Major changes in algorithm are always quite likely to change your main SEO KPIs for better or worse. Danny Sullivan, Google's public liaison for search, notes that changes to site performance in search results are to be expected. But what should you do if you notice changes in SEO performance of your site? Well, first of all, do not panic. It is most likely due to the core algorithm update. Secondly, wait for a bit to see if your SEO KPIs return to their normal values. And lastly, make sure your core fundamentals are solid. This includes backlink profile quality, internal optimization, internal linking, and so on. But just before you make any conclusions, wait for Google to confirm that update is finished rolling out. Do your analysis after the rolling out period is over. Do you have an FAQ section or a page on your site? It seems that Google has been showing more FAQ-rich results over the past few days. This information is based on both Rank Ranger's tracking tool and reports from SEO specialists. It seems that Google is now showing these FAQ-rich results 5 percentage points more according to Rank Ranger. But let's take a step back and explain what are rich FAQ results. I'm sure you have seen Q&A section on search result page when you're searching for something, right? It's the little box where you have questions, and then when you click on it, you see answers with links to pages where Google has found the answer. So basically, if you have an FAQ on your page, or if you're planning to have one, you can mark up your FAQs with structured data, which Google may, emphasis on may, then present in search results in a Q&A snippet. But why should you care? Well, with more FAQ results showing up in Google search, it may benefit your site as it may appear on the first page of the search, therefore increasing traffic. However, if there are already a lot of FAQs on the topic, then the user might see an answer to his question in a Q&A snippet and will not click on the traditional search result. This naturally might lead to a drop in CTR. So what should you do? As with many things in SEO, test, experiment and see what works and what doesn't. Microsoft Bing is experimenting once again. They're currently testing a branded sidebar navigation tool. This sidebar basically shows site links in search results. But what makes this interesting? Microsoft has been testing sidebar for a third week in a row now. In my opinion, the new sidebar looks quite useful and it may even generate more traffic. Unfortunately, it is currently only visible to Safari users, but you can try it out yourself and see if it works for you. And lastly, I have something for those working with e-commerce and in particular, retail. It seems that Google's search results keep getting more and more visual. With this relatively new feature called Explore Outfits and Shop Similar, we can now see super large images that slide into other images. This update may have a lot of potential for store owners, so make sure your product images are top-notch. From SEO to PPC, here we go. The most interesting PPC news is about the Google Marketing Live, which is why it's the only PPC news that I'm going to cover this week. But what is it and why does it matter? Google Marketing Live is a day when Google Ads announces upcoming features, resources and tools. Some of what was announced we have already seen before, such as swipeable shopping ads. Now let's dive into details. Firstly, we have visually engaging shopping ads. These images or carousels are clearly labeled as ads and will appear in dedicated ad slots throughout the shopping page. Another interesting announcement was support for 3D assets in ads. Google Ads with augmented reality assets is finally here. In other words, online stores will have the possibility to include 3D models of their products on Google search, so shoppers can see them in their spaces. This allows the buyer to interact with the item immediately, even before entering the website. Thirdly, Google Ads loyalty programs and its ad extensions are coming soon, but we don't have a lot of details as of yet. Next up, we have video action campaigns and app campaigns that will automatically scale to YouTube Shorts when using Performance Max campaigns. Note that this is not a minor thing, since YouTube Shorts now averages over 30 billion daily views, which is 4 times as many as a year ago. Moving on, we're going to have 6 new additions to Performance Max campaigns, including more tools for experimentation, expanded management support, and new insights and explanations. How nice is that? But the list of announcements does not stop there. New Google Ads Insights page reports will include attribution insights, budget insights, and audience insights for first-party data. During the event, My Ad Center was also reintroduced. It was first mentioned at Google I/O conference this year as a way for users to control their privacy settings and online ad experience. If you want to know more about My Ad Center, I have already talked about it during last Monday Digest episode. If you missed it, you better watch it right after finishing this video. These major updates and new features are a step forward in the right direction, as text-based pay-per-click advertising may not be as attractive as it was years ago. I see great potential, especially in augmented reality 3D photos, as they will allow the buyer to try the product before buying it. If done correctly, it may boost sales in specific product categories for sure. Whoa, we sure have a lot of changes and updates to expect when it comes to PPC. But what about analytics? Let's have a look. First off, if you watch some of my previous Monday Digest episodes, you'll know that the new video page indexing report in Search Console was presented at Google I/O conference. It seems that the current coverage report is going to be renamed to Pages report. So nothing major, but sometimes these changes in naming and layout may be confusing. Are you still using Google AMP? Many of us are. But have you attempted to use it together with Google Analytics 4? Well, if you have, then you probably know already that these two don't work together very well. Well, at least not officially. And for those who are currently thinking, what the heck is AMP? It's an acronym for Accelerated Mobile Pages. AMP is an open source HTML framework developed by the AMP open source project. Keep in mind though that over 90% of contributions to this project come from Google employees, so it's pretty much a Google's project. AMP-powered pages load faster and provide arguably better experience for mobile users. There are benefits of having AMP pages, but SEO impact is debatable. And as we all know it, page speed is crucial when it comes to SEO and overall user experience, so you definitely should care. All in all, I do suggest looking into AMP despite its problems with Google Analytics 4. The social media news are always worth following. First up, we have news related to none other than TikTok. Do you happen to use third-party social media management tools such as Sprinkler, Sprout Social, Buffer, my personal favorite, or Hootsuite? If your answer is yes, be prepared for some good news. TikTok is finally allowing businesses to manage their TikTok accounts through third-party tools. Needless to say, it is going to make social media management much easier, especially for large organizations with dedicated social media teams. But the real benefit comes from the ability to see TikTok analytics in said social media management platforms. This will allow you to better understand your TikTok KPIs and will help with cross-channel reporting. Creators have been asking Google to improve YouTube analytics for a long time, and guess what? Google finally listened. YouTube Studio will feature separate metrics for every video type. You will now be able to see the total number of video views for each type of content you published to your channel. This is huge change to what we had since before it was just one single metric. Naturally, seeing more data allows us to have more insight onto what is working and what is not, content-wise. You'll be able to understand and compare the performance of different video formats. In other words, you can compare your views in regular videos versus shorts or live streams and focus on content form that resonates best with your viewers. By the way, I also do YouTube Shorts, so remember to like this video, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Leave a comment as well, if you can. And before I wrap up, I have some news about Twitter. It seems that Twitter has reacted to the necessity to provide more monetization opportunities for creators. Twitter is launching a new Twitter Create website to showcase various ways for monetizing your Twitter account. On this site, creators can find tips, insights, and examples on how they can maximize their Twitter presence and make the most out of the platform. This comes right at the time as other social media platforms such as TikTok have recently put a huge emphasis on providing more tools and tips for monetization. I had a look beforehand just to make sure that it's not another BS landing page with no real value. But no, this is luckily not the case at all. The site provides a good overview of Twitter's various monetization options in 9 different categories. They also have an insightful blog content with tips for content creators. Definitely worth your time, especially for Twitter beginners. How do you monetize your Twitter account? Let me know in the comments. This week I have only one piece of tech news to share. Alexa, not the voice assistant, that has been one of the world's most popular go-to source for market research, has been retired on May 1st, 2022. A moment of silence, please. Okay. Alexa.com was founded 25 years ago by Brewster Kahle and Bruce Gilliatt. It has been one of the most trusted sources when it comes to website ranking and web traffic data. While it was launched in April 1996, Amazon acquired it in 1999 for about $250 million. Yikes. If you use Alexa data in your project, don't worry. Alexa has announced that its top sites and web information service APIs will be active until December 15th, 2022, so you have time to find an alternative. And we are done. As always, thanks for joining Monday Digest, and if you find this news insightful, give the video a like and share it on social media. And if you think I missed something or you want me to cover a topic, drop a comment down below. See you next week. Bye for now.